talk about litmus testing. So one of the things I often get asked to do is review people's cases. And they say, well, how do you know whether it's a good case or not? Well, I have what I call the litmus test. My first litmus test is it clear? So I literally read it start to finish, and I put it in, I highlight in a certain color every time I'm confused, okay? Because that means if I'm confused, someone else will be. The second thing is I highlight all jargon. So anytime you throw in some flowery stuff or jargony words or things like that, again, I highlight it because that will turn people off. Then I'll read it again and notice what I'm skipping. And I'll put big boxes around the sections I skip because quite frankly, if I'm skipping them, other people will too. So you consider leaving those out. You may not need them at all. The boring factor. The minute I get bored, I highlight those sections and put a B on them. Because if you're bored, somebody else is going to be bored too. And again, you're going to lose them. Then I look and say, are they telling me what I'm going to have or get from this? Or are they going blah, 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 how they're doing it? And this is the hardest thing. I'm a left-brain person, and so I love to talk about how I'm going to do it, the means. I had to teach myself to consciously talk about the ends or the haves. So that's another one of my litmus tests. And then, of course, as I've said before, is there a clear request that I can take action on? And if there is, it's nice and in green. And if it's missing, there's a little bit of red on that case for action. And then the last but not least, it's an emotional gut check for me. So you can motivate people negatively. You can motivate people positively. There is a balance, and you have to watch for it. So I know people who very successfully use negative motivation, but there is a risk that if you put them too deep in resignation, they actually won't take your action because you've left them in the dump. Same thing with being overly positive and Pollyanna. People may be like, ooh, this seems unrealistic. And so I do read for like a balance of, okay, is it too negative or too positive, and am I having an emotional reaction either way? So there is your litmus test. You can start by testing your own. You can hand it to others and tell them what to look for, but this works brilliantly and will ensure that 100% of the time you put out a quality case for action.